voice check identification.
Let's go.
Hello. Hope everybody's doing good. Staying warm. It's a
Good
chilly
evening,
one.
everybody.
Good evening.
Oh.
And how do I'm back tonight. Don't know for how long, but I'm here.
How's your guys' temperature? And Eric, don't even say anything.
I think we're 55.
Damn, y'all freezing.
Yeah, you guys are freezing down there.
I'm still in shorts. That doesn't bother me.
Well,
Yeah, I think. What did I say it was?
big time.
It was nice here today, sunny. Supposed to be 61 tomorrow.
Oh,
I got 22 here.
I would love 61.
Oh,
it's
And now they're saying next week we're going to get the what did they say, the Siberian vortex, and we could possibly get snow here again.
yeah. There's a couple of times like that. What?
Yeah, I don't appreciate it. I didn't sign up for that. One time was enough. We've had our yearly. We don't need multiples.
it's 9 degrees right now.
Ooh.
Well, let me say something. Coming up or being, we average out between every 8 to 12 years of bad weather like this. You know, I mean, yeah. How do you say that? It's wintertime. Get over it.
Yeah.
You know,
Though I don't want to say anything, but it's not that bad. I mean, we keep getting snow on top of the snow, but it's not. I've seen worse. I mean, it could be a lot worse, but I still don't like it.
the worst one I can remember was, what was it, 78, 79.
77, 78. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Be
The whole
worst.
yeah, it was bad all over during that time.
Yeah. It wasn't just like East Coast or nothing like that. I mean, and there was one year where it snowed in every state in the United States.
Even Hawaii?
Yeah.
Actually, it has snowed in Hawaii.
Yeah, maybe on a tall
Yeah,
mountain.
they got mountains out there.
No, it snows ash.
No, I mean snow.
There was snow out there in the higher elevations.
Mount Fuji, maybe?
Maybe.
Wait, that's Japan, isn't it? I don't know, whatever.
It's close anyway. It blowed off of Mount Fuji to Hawaii.
There you go.
Okay, let me see here. See about
Hello,
getting
Mr.
started.
Lake.
And I'm going to call these alleged. Okay, so it's
You better
not
get your words
proven,
going.
but this is our safe way of saying this. Alleged. There's a thing going through states right now. Allegedly, illegals are looting and breaking into places, and yeah, I think we could say home invasions, doing those types of things. It's from California all the way to New York. There were Ohio's been in the, especially during election, Ohio was in the news for certain illegals in the state. Well, they have been found in, well, not all of them, but allegedly found in the Kentucky area where they are moving south. Um, and my only guess is to get as much wealth as they can on the way out, because they're anticipating that they're going to be, getting deported, and this is their way of getting a little something on the way out.
I see a wrong turn coming up.
So far, California has put out, and I'll go ahead and show the picture. I can't do the videos or anything yet because I still have to go until the 23rd. So I won't get in trouble.
You need to back up.
Share screen. Here we go. And I went ahead and put them all together. And this wasn't a 24-hour period, which I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot more than this, but it's not getting reported. And a lot of times they get arrested and find out who they are, and they get released, because that's the thing in California and some other states too. Here is the mug shots of the latest ones out of California. And like I said, there's a lot more than this. There in California, they're saying in the hundreds. If they're saying in the hundreds, it's probably more like in the thousands.
Exactly.
Like I said, this is going on throughout United States. There's an uptick on these types of crimes where they're going in and looting places. Sometimes can't sit still. Sometimes when people are home, and some of these people that you see here did bad things allegedly did bad things to the people that were in these homes, and still got a smack on the wrist and go about your business. And this is something that I think should be right up front in the news. It should be a major thing. But again, we still have, Sleepy Joe in office still. I wouldn't even call him Sleepy Joe anymore. Like I said, I got allegedly reports in Kentucky, where the ones that were in Ohio were headed south, and that's their way of getting south is, get that money, get that whatever they can as they leave. And I anticipate it's going to be getting worse. Closer to, J6, or I almost say J6, J20, and past that, as Trump, changes laws and makes executive orders and all that stuff. You're going to start seeing a lot more of this. Some of them will be, pissed that their meal tickets are being taken away, and their cell phones are getting shut off, and their food stamp card doesn't have money on it anymore. All that starts happening. Do you think they're going to go out and try to get a job? No, they're going to try to do what they're used to doing. Yes, a lot of those are acting up too, because they know it's what's coming. So I suggest that people start being aware of their houses and people walking around and checking all the places and stuff, or your windows, your doors, all that stuff. And on top of everything going on, I don't know if you guys went to the store and seen if there was eggs or not. No eggs on the shelves, at least here. I don't. I've seen many videos where people are buying shopping carts full of eggs because they're afraid that all the eggs are going to be bought out.
$8 a dozen here.
Yeah, that's. Oof.
Well, yeah.
I'm still paying $4 for farm eggs, and pretty soon everybody's going to be looking at those signs, farm eggs and stuff like that, and they're going to be hitting those places up next.
Hadn't been shopping in about a week or so, but I'll take a look if I venture out this week.
Must be free range. Okay. Shared eggs, almost $9. Oof. Almost $5 large dozen eggs, which the large are what we used to call small eggs back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're getting their sizing from. How do they say that little egg is a large? I remember large eggs was like fit in the palm of your hand. That
Wouldn't even fit in a coffee cup.
Yeah. Michigan is bearing no eggs. Last I saw, $6.99 a dozen.
I wish I had some good farm fresh eggs.
Oh man, they're so much better. And
It's
I'm
been a
on
while.
the carnivore thing, so it's
What is that?
just meat.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, would you consider an egg in the carnivore
Yeah.
range?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically a baby chicken
Embryo.
beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like meat.
And you can do some dairy.
Milk.
Yeah, well, not so much
I
milk,
know.
but you can do cheese, the stuff that's not processed.
The real
And,
cheese.
Yeah, the aged cheese is better.
Shit don't stay on the shelf long enough to turn age.
Okay. January 1st, new law in Michigan have to be caged free to sell the eggs. Stores can't find them to sell them on the shelves are empty.
Black market.
Yeah, there's no
I don't get that. Isn't there giant egg, places in Michigan where they hatch eggs?
Well, see that's
them
the
all
thing.
down?
It's different in every state. They're like in certain. I think it was North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. That as long as they open the door to the big old hen houses that have all the
That's open range.
that's considered free range.
Yeah.
I consider that a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
Really?
And because they're all stacked, they're in little cages stacked up. And
Bushcraft, I want to see what Susie D asked.
Yeah, it depends on, again, it depends on the state. Each state has a different law to determine what is organic or not. It used to be that like plants, if there was no pesticides used, you could use GMO seeds and all that icky stuff, but you couldn't put pesticides. There's so many loopholes in that. Sometimes you just got to know where it's coming from and do a little research, because they know all the loopholes.
Mm-hmm.
They paid their senators to put the loopholes in.
I'm kind of like this right here. If I got a mess of chickens and they out there eating off the ground, and I'm throwing them a little bit of pellets here and there or scrap food, to me that's free range.
Oh yeah.
If they're caged up, that's not free range, period.
Yeah. Well, they can be caged up at night, because you usually put them away so the raccoons don't get them.
Right. I'm talking about during the daytime.
Yeah. Oh, that's some of the best, when they go out and eat the bugs and the crawdads and the frogs and stuff. Them the best chicken eggs you can get. And again, you have to pay attention to the feed that you're giving them. Yeah. And it's just not, you read it on the back of the bag and it's just this and this and this. A lot of it could be sprayed with something and you don't know it, and they're not going to put it on the ingredients list.
The only
man lives near me used to have 10 chicken houses. He said only time they were free range is when they let them go restock. Yeah.
The only predator I got to worry about is that hawk flying around. But after my chickens, that's my food. I will protect my chickens.
Well,
let's just
Kansas. Yeah, they're extinct. They're on the danger list. So technically, if they're going in and getting your chickens, you can't do nothing about it.
Bushcraft.
Any bird of prey.
Let's leave this subject alone before somebody gets in trouble.
Even vultures.
Now, I know about the vultures. And I'm going to tell you like this. I don't care what anybody says. A vulture has got to be one of the toughest birds I think I've come across, because I was going down the road, rounded a curve, and I kind of hit one of them, but he rolled over the car. I looked in my rear view mirror and he was looking at me like, "You're next, dude."
You have to come back this way.
Yeah. I made a detour. I didn't go back that way.
Yeah, if you can, like me, I live in a city, unfortunately. But if you can go and drive down some back roads and you see a sign that says, you know, fresh chicken eggs, $4 or $5, and if you
Right.
talk to them and tell them you don't want them cleaned, that way you can set them up on the counter and you don't have to put
Yes.
them in the refrigerator. Those eggs will last over a month long.
Yeah.
Once you can clean them when you cook them. So
Yeah.
well, I don't have to say this. There's a lot of people out there that raise chickens, but you'll wash your shell, and then you break it open. And I always got in the habit. We had a little dish that we broke our eggs in first, and then we put it in the pan. Because if you
Make
got
sure it ain't bad.
like 4 eggs in the pan and you break one open and it's got blood in it, you just ruin the whole pan.
Yep.
So
You about the only one I've sat here and heard why the old people done that. The elders did that.
Yeah.
yeah,
I do it because my mom always did it.
Yeah.
that there technically there's nothing wrong with that egg. Well, there could be, but it's because it's fertile.
Mm-hmm.
The rooster did his job. And I'll see these cooks and stuff, and they'll be putting all these eggs in a bowl, and I'm like, oh, everybody's so spoiled. They get all these things because these when you get the eggs from the store, the cheaper ones and all that stuff. These chickens are in probably a 2x2 if you're lucky cage.
Yeah.
And they're stacked on top of each other, and they lay eggs constantly. They're not around a rooster, so there's no chance of that egg being fertile.
Yeah.
There's an ingredient inside the feed that makes them lay eggs. They don't have to be fertile.
Well, now I'll tell you what. Like you said, probably a lot of people in here know this, but when you get a farm fresh egg, the eggshell is tougher than what you get out of a grocery store.
Yeah, and that's a
opinion.
good sign too.
And the darker the yolk, the fresher it is.
Oh, better it is.
Yeah, true that.
Them dark. Oh man, that's because almost a darker orange.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When a chicken eats crawdads, that's some of the best eggs I've ever had. Is when the chickens were down in a canal and they was going to town on the crawdads, and the whole couple weeks later, those eggs were so good.
Well, the funny thing about it is, and I didn't know this until maybe about a year or so ago, chickens who lay eggs will not mess with the eggs, but you could take them and throw them on the ground to where they'll crack. Chickens will tear them egg yolks up.
Oh yeah, they'll eat the shell too, because that's a calcium they need.
See, I didn't know that till about a year or so ago.
They're baby dinosaurs. What do you expect? Feathered raptors.
Yeah, I watch a lot of homesteaders and stuff, and they'll go out, and if they're well overwhelmed with eggs. You know, they got too many eggs. They got,
Yeah.
dozens in the house and stuff. They'll throw a couple down,
Yeah.
and people say, "Oh, you don't do that. You're gonna get them used to eating eggs." And it's like they're chickens. They already know what that is.
Yeah.
If
It's
they know once that shell's broken, that egg is no good. They get rid of it. Yeah, that's
she must be a new one.
good calcium. Um, a lot of times you're supposed to give them what is it, oyster shells, or
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, some kind of scratch stuff or something like that. Um, there's alternatives too, but like for where I was, I didn't have to do that because I had a canal right there that had the crawdads, and that's where they got their calcium from. And you have to have, yeah, there's a grit, and you have to have like stuff for them to eat that goes in their gizzards and stuff, so they
Yeah.
can digest the food.
The gizzard and the gullet.
Yeah.
It's a
You got
fascinating
a bag
creature.
of oyster shell bits. Yeah.
There may be a fight between me and chicken when it comes to oysters.
Oh, that's one thing I would like if I was going down south. That oyster poor boy. Oh man.
No,
Yeah.
shrimp po' boy is what I like.
Oh no, I go for the oyster right away.
Yeah, plenty of that down here.
I could eat
Yeah.
about 2 dozen on the half shell right now.
That and gator bites.
Hot
If I went
sauce and
down to
lemon
Florida,
juice.
that's the first thing I would get.
Gator, but yes. I don't know. People around here, when they cook gator bites, it's like you got to take a hammer and crack them.
Oh no, there's a place in Florida, the northern part of Florida there, that's meant for that. That's what they're famous for.
You can pretty much eat the whole tail, but like most animals, the loin that's in the tail, that's going to be your best cut.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. Yeah, you gotta. I seen Pat talking about those emergency meals and stuff. You gotta be careful with eating too many of those, though.
Yes.
Gotta be high in salt.
Well, that and it's got twice as much preservatives than the stuff you buy in the store. So, what's that do to your gut? It's meant to preserve it, so it'll block you up real good.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second. I got to take a shot right quick.
Has proven chickens have skinny feet. They get frozen. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, that's when they're getting in a real close. They're confined in a little area. You got to let them out and let them move, because if they don't move, they'll freeze right to the ground. Unless, and well, even the vineyard chicks has talked about this. During the wintertime, they don't clean out the pen. they'll put shavings and stuff over top of their poop and stuff. When that starts breaking down, it creates heat. So that's a natural heat, and they'll keep them in the coop when it's real cold. Yeah,
You know what today is?
if you're just starting chickens and stuff, find somebody that has been doing it for a few years. Even ask the vineyard chicks, the girls. They know all about the chickens because
Mm-hmm.
they've been raising them for so long. Different varieties. You just don't go to the, unfortunately, Tractor Supply and get, because half the time you don't know what they are. Even if they tell you what they are, they're not what they are.
Somebody switched names on them.
Well, they just let them run together and then they separate them in the last minute or something. Well, the last time I got, well, I've said this before, but last time I got chickens from Tractor Supply, I got a dozen chickens, and they were all roosters, every one of them.
There's a farm up the road from where I live, maybe about 3 miles. She went and got her incubator. And I'm gonna tell you what, she can't hatch enough of them fast enough. Because people around here is buying them up before they even get hatched. Right now, I'm on something like a 3-month waiting list.
Oh yeah, I love some quail.
Got a quail hatchery not too far from here, one county south of me. This place is huge. You'd think if you just rode past it and didn't know, you'd think it was a chicken farm, but it's just nothing but quail.
And they're a lot easier to raise. You don't have to free range them or whatnot. They can be in a cage as long as it's up off the ground.
Wait a minute.
Pheasant's another good bird. Well, an eating bird.
Yeah, delicious bird.
Oh yeah.
Need to ride down there and get me a bag of them.
Oh, you reading chat, Bushcraft?
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah. Anybody got any headphones in? I'm gonna wake up some people, and dogs are gonna get to barking if I do that. It's right now. It's not worth it.
All right, we'll build up to it.
You have no idea how bad I'm wanting to do it, but I can't. I got 3 dogs and a putty tat, and 2 people sleeping. That 3 a.m.
Just whisper it.
I don't think you can whisper.
I can't whisper, and Bushcraft knows that.
You'd be the type of guy in the grocery store just to yell out, "Hey, don't look now, but look at this guy behind us, man. What's his deal?"
I forgot when I was getting into it a while back ago. I was at Walmart one afternoon, and all of a sudden it hit me what day it was, and I hollered out, "Hump Day!" And I heard a couple of bottles break. I'm sorry. Right now, considering what the time it is, that's as loud as I can go.
But you know,
Oh.
today is also another famous day for another animal. It was today
Groundhog?
in close, almost. It's actually really close, really. But today in 1870 was the first time the donkey was used as a democratic symbol.
Oh,
Wait a
really?
minute. Wait a minute. How is that even close?
Well, I'm pretty sure they were on the ark together. You know, they probably shared the same sleep. You know, I don't know. You got me. But yeah, that was today in 1870.
I think the operative word is ass.
Now there's.
Did you hear who?
Oh, they multiplied quick.
You hear who's on the road to getting a divorce?
Who?
Obama's.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a Mike and Mike conflict.
Yeah.
Too many mics.
well, you know what the main leading cause of a divorce is, don't you?
With them?
No, with anybody.
Too many swords in a fight.
No. Man, I'm so old. I still owe Fred Flintstone some food stamps.
Did you say too many swords in a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's crazy. That's a real bummer.
It's an old bummer.
It is.
Oh, bummer.
Oh, bummer, where art thou? I wonder what did it. What was the final straw? What was the final straw that broke the camel's back on hump day?
Probably that
Obama.
that pantsuit and that stairway.
Yeah.
Oh, good thing I brought an extra shirt to cover my mouth.
It ain't working. That's what my wife tells me.
And they say pantsuits were good for every occasion. Someone who said that?
Oh God.
Yeah, I can just see the aftermath of that. All the talking and stuff.
Oh, you know there'll be a book.
Yeah.
Life after Barack.
life after Mike.
Yeah. Narrated by Mike Tyson. Oh,
I can see Obama coming out with a book, Life with Mike. I came across this article. I was actually going to do a video, but I'll give you the short bits of it here. And it's all about $20. And it starts off as in 1800s. It cost in New York City. It cost $20 a month for rent, and now it's like well over $5,000 a month for rent in New York.
When was this? Back in the 1400s?
No, 1878. Well, 1870s is what they said, and you could buy 50 acres for $20 back then.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if you bought 70 acres of Manhattan back then?
Well, not there, but out in the country somewhere, out in the boonies, you could buy land for $20. But back then, the next town over was probably probably that 20 now. Here, what was the other thing that they said? $20 could you could buy a cow for $20 and would supply you with the milk, cheese, and butter and everything you would need for that $20. What was the other thing? Yeah, today $20 to buy you a cup of coffee. What was it?
You about right with that one.
Yeah, these specialty coffees from Blockbuster and all those places, or not Blockbuster, the coffee place,
Yeah,
Starbucks. Yeah, that's it. Outfit 1870s. It says an outfit, a suit of clothes would be $1.50, and
good.
that's where they
God.
said now today you can even buy a cup of coffee for $20. And this is going off of in the New York area, so this is what they're gauging it as. Let's see. Electric oven for a kitchen and for the countertop would cost $10. Nowadays, it's between $3,000 and $5,000 for these fancy stoves that they have. Here, let's see what else we got. In the 1920s, one of the most popular cars was the Ford Model T, which was a whopping $260. And for $20, you could fill the 10-gallon tank over 10 times back then. And this was 1920s. Let's see what else. Oh, we're up into the 50s now. For a family of 5 and 6, you could feed the whole family for $7. Oh no, this was Thanksgiving dinner for $7 in the 50s.
Damn.
Well, that's way off now, isn't it? 5 cents per pop. Yeah, $20 you could buy 400 cans of Coca-Cola.
Can you hold about $2
$20 you could have your whole family get checkups from the doctor. It was about $5 per person per visit. Well, we're going in the 80s now. In 1980, you could snag 2 tickets to see Bob Seger or the Grateful Dead for $20.
I remember when that was going on.
Yeah, nowadays, if you want to go see the one chick, it's like $3,000-$4,000. The brand new Transformer toy at the peak of their popularity in the 80s was about $5. And while $20 doesn't go very far fast food realm, 1980s value meal was $2.59.
Mm-hmm. I remember when just a regular hamburger was 25 cents.
Oh yeah. Yeah. $2.59. Bag of oranges, $6.99. Dang. Oof. Well, orange prices are going up. They're anticipating it already, so they're already like if you go looking at the orange juice, even it's went up.
Yeah. Big time.
Blame it on Eric. He left his AC open or on and left the door open and it cooled off in there.
No.
And
Duke Electric takes too much. Got to be frugal.
$6. Wow.
Like my dad, he says, there's always someone trying to separate you from your money. That's the way it is.
Yeah, I think it was in 1990. I paid $11 to go see AC/DC. And it was in Charleston, West Virginia, and that was the last time I went to a concert. And oh man, when they did the money talks, they drop all that their dollar bills down, and everybody's jumping up like this. I'm down on the ground just scooping them up. I'm crawling around. My pockets are stuffed way out to where I'm starting to stuff this money down my pants because I know this money is going to be worth something one day.
Yeah, don't you wish you still had some of that?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah. The only thing, I was young back then, so afterwards we went to bars and I didn't have to pay for a drink for a week because I gave them an Angus Young dollar bill from AC/DC. And I went back there a few years later, one of the bars, and it was still up there.
Really?
They still had it framed and put up on the back wall. It was somebody else that was bartending at the time, and I said, "You know where that dollar came from, don't you?" No. And I said, I'm the one that gave it to him. How do you spam the heart? Oop, where'd it go? Heart of bushcraft. Oh, it's that little thing on the side of your chat.
Bottom right corner.
Yeah. I'm not sure where it's at on the phone though, because I don't watch YouTube on my phone.
Oh.
I hardly do anything on my phone. Everybody knows that.
Reason I got my phone going is to get rid of people that don't want to act properly.
What is that? Did anybody hear about it?
No, I didn't hear that.
No, either did I. You gotta say allegedly though.
I heard there was 2 attempts,
Oh,
allegedly 2.
yeah, there's been a
The two attempts weren't allegedly; they were on TV.
well, those ones, yeah, but unless it's, you know, the fact checker thing, whatever it comes down to, unless it says it's been confirmed and all that stuff, which I don't believe half
What's
the
that,
stuff
Pre?
in the fact checkers.
I don't believe a damn thing when it comes to the fact checkers.
Oh no. Yeah, even the ones on X, if you they chime in every once in a while and say, well, this is a story. Some of them are true. It'll say this video was 10 years ago or something like that. That I'm good with that. But when something happens like 2020 and everybody getting the juice and everything, there was stuff going on.
Mhm.
Everybody knew, even the doctors knew.
But the doctors couldn't say nothing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you making that good of money, why would you want to chance it?
Yeah. Well, they do they sign contracts and everything by the pharmacies and stuff that
NDAs.
yeah.
And the ones that did speak about it, they got thrown off of social media and banned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name from Facebook? He's trying to save face now. All of a sudden, is coming out with it. Why didn't you come out with it before?
Talking about him.
Yeah, I think that's a bunch of baloney. He's just trying to kiss butt before Trump takes office.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, especially when Muskie is there's talk about Muskie going after buying TikTok, so TikTok doesn't get removed. Myself, I don't think it's going anywhere. There's too many people making money on TikTok in the United States. Too many companies making money off of TikTok in the United States.
There's more truth being said on TikTok than it is YouTube.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's getting pretty bad on TikTok now. They're cutting down on a lot of stuff that you can say and whatnot. I was talking to what's her name, Defender of the Republic, and she's at the point where she just don't do it anymore on TikTok. She's sticking with X, and I was in the process because I was a little peed off about the stuff that was being said about I'll just put it, the stuff that was going on, not in the Louisiana part, but the Las Vegas part. And I was all had the video ready to queue up and everything. And she said everything I wanted to say. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to say anything now because you just said it. Of course, I was going to put a little bit more in it because you remember the 13 soldiers.
Yeah.
That when we pulled out, or whatever you want to call it, what we did over there, there hardly anything said about the military back then. I'm talking about the media part. And this guy with his, electric truck and whatever, we'll probably never know the whole story on that or anything like that. But the fact that they were dissing the military so much because that guy was in the military, the media was slamming the military so bad. And that's just a smack in the face to all these veterans that fought, and a lot of them died for this country, the freedoms of this country. And it was sickening. That I completely shut the news off for for like a week over that. I didn't go on any sites or anything because it was just irritating me. And you could feel the frustration of people who are in the military right now, hearing about this. But yeah. And she did a very good video though. Hey there, BB. And that's the thing that got me. It's, there was no talk about military this, military that, or the 13 soldiers and whatnot. And then boom, as soon as something bad happens, the military trained him to do this, and yeah. But the main thing I wanted to get out today was everybody, even if you're not in the city or whatnot, we need to hunker down and pay attention of your surroundings and everything. Even when you go outside to do whatever, to go to the grocery store or stuff, we have over 9 million. I'm not saying all of them are evil or bad or whatever you want to call them, but over 9 million illegals in this country. And I guarantee you, all of them are not angels. There are some that far from it. And when they realize their meal tickets are gone and their free money, their cell phones and their place to live, what do you expect is going to happen? The crime rate is going to go through the roof, which it probably already is, but we're not seeing it because it's not being reported. So we really need to pay attention to things that's going on. Do rounds around your house to check for hiding spots and stuff like that. If you don't have security cameras, try to find a cheap solution. You can probably get 3 or 4 for under $100 at least. Set them up. If you're on Wi-Fi, it's real easy that way. But of course, they're going to report on the stuff that's going on in California because it's California. The images I showed you before, you can actually go and look at the reports on those people that they did make reports out, and some of the alleged things that they did, and it's not good. They're breaking into people's houses when they're still there. all that stuff.
If
And
you're going
if it comes down to, as just Jeff calls it, Marshall Dillon, read between the lines. You won't be able to go to. Very seldom you'll be able to go to the store. If you'll be able to go to the store. So make sure you have. Again, they tell you to have 3 days of food in your house and stuff. I say at least 3 months.
exactly.
Would be better to have 3 years of supplies in your house, but 3 months at least.
If you are going to buy security cameras, do not go with AliExpress. Yeah, I bought a few from Temu, and I mean, I could be anywhere, and it come in on my cell phone. I think it was what, 3 for $20.
Oh wow.
I've got no complaints from them at all.
Well,
Another thing too, Bush, if there's going to be ML like you're talking about, you're not going to have law enforcement respond, in like they normally do. So
oh yeah.
if you all don't have your seeds and a way to plant them, it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And that's,
Well,
imagine people being cut off from the grocery store and, Uber Eats and all that stuff. And they see your nice garden in the back.
Yeah.
you won't have it long.
Yeah, unless you're sitting out there with a thing.
Mhm.
You better learn how to do a greenhouse inside your house.
Yeah, motion sensor lights are awesome.
I bought one from Dollar General for $20. Trust me, it's a solar power. Man, it'll blind a deer.
Mine are not that they're just little bitty things about this big, but they'll light up an area to where if it's dark out and something goes past it, I see it. Usually an animal or something will set it off. Like I'll get up at 4 o'clock or something and look out because that's when the deer usually come through, and I'll see the light flashing on, and I'll go running out there and throw something at them.
See, I'm kind of want to set one up right there at the driveway, so if a car comes in with lights off, it won't be long before it gets lit up.
Yeah. Another thing, a lot of those lights can be set up for other things. If you have the wiring, um, just a little beep
Yeah.
noise. You run the wire from the
Oh yeah.
sensor and then run it in the house and lets off a beep, and then somebody's in that area. Because if you're in the house, a lot of times you won't even know the light comes on. But if you open it up and run wires off from that sensor.
Well, now the way I've got my household set up, don't care where you sit, you're looking outside.
Uh,
You know.
oh yeah, I've got. Well, mine go to a cloud, which it's only outside. I wouldn't want nothing inside like that, but um, they go to a cloud, so I can go back 4 or 5 years and check through and see the images and stuff. So I don't have to delete it. The Ring thing now does that too. It has a cloud. I think you have to pay for theirs though. Mine just came with it.
I want 2 more cameras, and I'll be satisfied.
Well, I got to get me another one to go rabbit area.
Hey, have you got pretty good with a slingshot yet?
Oh, I've always been good with slingshot.
Hey, they don't make no noise either.
Well, it does a bow.
Yeah, but ammo for a slingshot is more plentiful than a bow.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't hit a tree, then I can reuse it. Or a rock.
Right.
Why not have both?
Is it $98 a year for
Ring?
two Ring cameras? I mean, that isn't really that bad if you
No,
sit
but
there and
that's
think about it.
$98. That's $98 that could be put somewhere else.
Well, that's for the cloud, isn't it, Grace? So you can have access to the cloud, and it doesn't have to be stored on the device because those things go out real fast.
Hey,
I had a 2 gigabyte little flash thing, and probably 6 months it was full, and I had to format it, which isn't bad, you know.
There's one thing I've never used is a cloud.
Yeah, you do.
I wouldn't know how to go about using one.
You're already using them. Your cell phone, Google, all your information goes up in the cloud.
Really?
Yeah, you're already in the cloud. You just didn't even know it.
Tell me about it. Maybe that's why it's a little bit foggy when I first wake up.
See?
Yeah,
There you go. That's
we're all in the cloud. Yeah, like when you take a picture with your cell phone, it saves it on your phone and it saves it on your Google account.
Oh shit.
Yeah. If you go to Google, log into Google, and then I think there's a checkerboard thing over on the right, then click on photos, and then it'll show all the pictures you've taken, or videos even for that matter, some cases.
It'd take me 6 months to go through all of what I've done. Napped.
Yeah. I think it saves for, I don't know, a few years.
Really?
I tried to watch something she was saying the other day about the California fires and stuff, and it was
Yeah,
it was
valid.
yeah, it was like What? Oh yeah, and that doesn't count all the like your browser history. You know how many companies buy your browser history?
no kidding.
There's thousands of
Oh yeah.
advertisers and this and that buys that Google owns that will sell it. That's like what I was talking about the other day was the DuckDuckGo thing, saying, "Oh, we're secure and this and that," and I'm like, "Wait a minute! To download the app, you have to download it off of Google." I said, "You're not secure."
Hmm.
Everything that's hosted on the Google Play Store, um, they have access to. That means that they can embed their code into everything that is there. So nothing on your phone is safe.
Hmm.
And Signal used to be really good. It still is because your messages get deleted and stuff. But there's nothing that is 100% safe. Um, that's what like everybody used to say Telegram's one of the safest things. I'm like, um, all your information is being hosted on a server in Russia. Enough said. Do you think Russia's not going to sell your information?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, it's if you read the terms of service, it's in there that they can do this.
Hmm.
And that these companies or these um, like the Facebook say, oh, we have 128-bit encryption on our stuff. No, you don't. Uh,
Bushcraft, Watt, Eric. I'm gonna go ahead and hop down for the night. Uh, this light is shining right in on them. Ain't no curtains up.
oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
Well, have a good evening, Jeff.
Yeah, you have a good night, Jeff. Tell Dixie I said hey.
Good night, buddy.
I will. I will. And everybody in chat, I hope y'all have a good evening. And before it's too late, I hope y'all all have had a good hump day. That's as loud as I can go. I'm out. Bye.
Oh yeah. Even McAfee. Even the antivirus software had stuff in it to track your data that they sold.
Something else.
Yeah, they had certain companies had malware embedded in the coding that you downloaded and stuff. Even when you bought a brand new computer that came with all that stuff, that was a pain to get rid of. Um, they had malware embedded in it to track all that stuff. It's all about that money.
Yep.
One of the most profitable things in the world is information.
The truth is out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I still can't get over it. Remember back in 85, value meal was $2.59. I don't think you can buy anything for $2.59 at McDonald's now, can you?
Shoot, that's what it costs to get cheese on it now.
Ugh.
The luxury tax of cheese.
And it's not even cheese.
Nobody knows what it is, really. They still haven't confirmed nor denied.
It's a cheese product. That's how they get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching one of those nostalgic videos of what was it? It was like 1985 Burger King and stuff. I was like, wow, it was showing the prices on that.
Yeah. 29-cent the little single burger.
Yeah.
29 cents. Oh man. Oh,
We could eat
good
like
old days.
no, they were tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, they're a lot smaller now than they were back then. My son was talking about it and saying, how come they keep making everything smaller and they keep raising the price? Because, well, look at the candy bars. You know, the king size candy bars that they have now.
They're
Just
now,
That was the
old
regular
regulars.
candy bar.
they're now fun
Yeah.
size.
And then the ones that are supposed to be regular size are like the little samplers.
Mhm.
Or the what they call that? White Castle.
Oh, they used to be good. Back
They
in-
were especially at 3 a.m. Oh man.
Oh yeah. Down south it was Crystals.
Yeah, I was about to say I never had the White Castle, but yeah, we got crystals down here.
Kids value meal is $4.99 to $5.49. Yeah, I haven't been to McDonald's for at least 10, 15 years. I think it was 12 years ago, actually, because they just rebuilt the McDonald's and they had the new fancy touch screens and all that, and went there and I'm like, oh God, this is horrible. I mean, the little push button thing was ordering my food and everything. That's pretty cool.
Jim, you want to explain that question? Oh,
20 cents back in the day. Yeah, Crystals was good. Last time I was in a Crystals, it was 25 cents a burger, and I bought $20 worth.
Oh yeah, don't go back. The last time you went, they had 25-cent burgers. Yeah, don't go back. It'll ruin it for you.
Yeah, well, it's hard to find anything in a fast food that's actually good now.
Yeah.
unless you're shooting at it like a deer.
Well, out west, I used to like Jack in the Box, and everybody told me Jack in the Box is horrible now.
Yeah.
They had this burger called the Ultimate Cheeseburger, and it was a triple, and it had 3 different kinds of cheese on it.
That's my status right there.
So I went and I said, well, how much is it to double it? and it was 6 patties and
Heck yeah.
double the cheese of that. And oh man, that was a good sandwich then. And I went through the drive-through every day on the way to work to get that. And, yeah, Jack in the Box was good back then. And then they had this thing to where people were getting sick and dying from eating Jack in the Box.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's where they came up with the rule that you had to cook the burger for so many minutes. And
Yeah.
a
lot of restaurants won't even cook medium rare anymore.
Oh no.
Some do, but some don't.
Whataburger was another good place. I don't know how they are now, but Taco Bell used to be good. Oh man. One of my favorite things was the pizza. The Mexican pizza thing they had.
Mexican pizza thing.
Yeah, it was basically a tostada with double stacked, and then stuff and pizza stuff. Well, not really pizza stuff, but meat and cheese and tomatoes and stuff.
We still got some local, I guess you call them fast food joints, like mom and pop places. They're pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Got one called Gary's Hamburgers. It's locally owned. I think he's got three places now locally, but it started as one, but he's still got a pretty good burger.
Yeah, that's the thing is if you can find a good their restaurant came in, and when it moved into another where it was a restaurant before, we went down there ate and was thinking, oh, I'm going to get me a good burger. It was a frozen patty, and I'm like, oh, come on. Like if you go to Bob Evans, they had a special, which I don't do. They had Salisbury steak. It's a frozen patty.
Yeah.
With gravy that isn't really gravy. It was more watered down than anything. And I was like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me. That's
how Gary's is. They make their own patties. They make their own fries. And a little bit extra makes a difference. You can taste it.
Yeah. Because those patties are it's basically paste when it comes out in tubes, and then they slice it.
Yeah. Like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
We got one that's called the Snow Cap. It's a drive-in. It's been around since probably the mid-50s. And they still got good burgers, shakes, all your drive-in favorites, chili dogs. Still got one of the best milkshakes, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that I would rather pay a few dollars more for a real burger, that somebody ground up or had the ground beef and formed it into a patty and put seasoning and stuff in it than a frozen patty, because there's no flavor in it and it's like eating rubber ickiness.
If I gotta pay more, I'd rather pay more for real than artificial.
Yeah. Yeah. Around here, there used to be, when we first moved up here, there was out by the main road, there was a big diner, and 2 blocks down, there was 2 other diners that stayed open, and the one had on certain days had a buffet that had, you know, Salisbury steak and fried chicken, fish, and all kinds of stuff. And it was
We got one like
all home cooked food.
we got one
And
like that here that's still running.
that's
Survived
long
last 4
gone.
years.
There is not one diner in this city. It's the only place is Bob Evans. There's steakhouses now, but
Yeah.
not a old fashioned diner to where you can go in and get stuff.
A lot of your places is like that. Yeah, it's all franchise stuff.
We don't make people hungry on this channel.
Nah, we never talk about food.
Yeah,
I will.
if we don't talk about food on a live, then there's something wrong.
It's pretty serious.
All right, let's talk about the pros and cons of fruitcake.
Pretty one sided in my opinion.
What if it was cheesecake fruitcake?
Nope.
I probably still wouldn't have nothing to do with it. That's why I draw my line on my cheesecake aficionado.
What I'm really wanting to try this. There's a carnivore recipe for cheesecake.
Hey, there you go. Make sure you send me the link. Sounds interesting.
It takes a lot of eggs though. Right now it could be expensive for a cheesecake.
It's expensive regardless.
Hey, milk and honey.
It would be like a what do they call it? A quiche? Like a giant quiche?
No, it's with cream cheese and heavy whipping cream and egg yolks, I believe. And we all know Lakes of fruitcake.
We just ruined Tasha's appetite talking about fruitcake.
I don't. The bot didn't turn on today for some reason. I forgot to turn it
I
on.
was wondering what was missing.
0.
Hey, Huga, how you doing tonight?
Hooga.
Egg worthy. What was that Jim said? Salisbury steak versus meatloaf with homemade barbecue sauce. Toss up. I've had good both, but I would probably say, that it is a tough one.
Or Salisbury because it's got gravy.
Yeah, I've had one of the best ones was meatloaf was smoked.
Ooh.
Oh,
heck yeah. No doubt.
That was real good.
I know it would. Yeah, it makes everything taste better. Do you like a macaroni and cheese or like a casserole in the smoker?
Yeah.
Oh man.
The one Easter when I made baked beans, I made them up and then I put them in the smoker. Oh man, that was real good.
Can't get it no better.
Shepherd plot, yeah, that's good.
And,
Oh
and
yeah, that's
no,
always a hit.
yeah, and no mincemeat. No mincemeat pie. That's,
I've had the good mincemeat pie.
some of
Never had
them.
one.
It was actually Amish made though.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Some of those recipes call for suet, and I'm like, no.
Well, if you eat hot dogs, you probably ate.
I don't eat them anymore either. You and I had that talk. I don't eat nothing scraped off the floor.
There you go. Bushy Bot's in the house.
He is?
Yeah.
Victory has appeared.
An hour ago.
No, the bot just came in, so it had to.
No. Grace slapped Grace. See, Grace, stop picking on yourself. You're a stinky fish.
And went to a customer's house today. And I pulled up and I said, I already know the theme. It was nautical. 'Cause they had the palm trees planted out front with the beach sand everywhere. And sure enough, we went inside. Man, this lady had everything mermaid related it was to buy. I promise you. I mean, she had it all,
Oh
and
boy,
it was like walking into a beachfront property.
it's this dump, Eric.
Just dump. Okay. Oh, thanks for the hug, Grace.
Guys, look at them speech. Oh, no.
Jerry only eats a corn dog once a year. I wonder what that's all about. There's TH2 on that one.
Must be when the fair comes to town.
I'm actually made a lot of money for. They call them grab joints on the carnival. It's a carny word for the food stand. And I was working. I think I was 9, 10 years old at the time, and I was working in there, and they mainly sold corn dogs and pop and stuff like that. But we had to shut down because there was, and this was in Los Angeles, California, and that we had to shut down because there was pew pew fights out in the parking lot or something. And so we had a bunch of corn dogs left, and he said, I don't want to throw these away and everything. And I said, well, stick them in the refrigerator. I've got an idea. And he put them in the refrigerator. And the next day, instead of making a whole fresh batch of corn dogs, which we did anyway, but I dipped the already corn dog in the batter and then deep fried it again. And it was twice the size. And we charged 3 times as much for the old corn dogs that was left over from the night before. And he made so much extra money that he, instead of, because usually he would throw them out because he didn't want to save them for the next day. So he started making extra so he could save the ones from the night before and make them the extra large ones. And he ended up paying me a $500 bonus for that idea.
Nice.
Back then that was a lot of money.
Yep.
And at that age I had, after that that show, I had $1,700 that I made for that week. which, you know, even nowadays, that's a lot of money for a week.
Yeah, for sure.
And usually I don't on the carnival, I don't work a grab joint or anything, but that's the only thing I could get at the time. My dad was uh, working the bottle ring, and I actually made more money than he did. And the guy tried to get me to stay on with him to go to the next spot, but we were traveling back to, we were actually headed to Florida, Tampa Bay area, which there's a town by Tampa that's called, I don't know if it's still called this or not, but it's called Gibtown. That's where all the carnies would go to on the off season. You would see, you know, rides and stuff all parked in that town and stuff. I don't think there's any more what they call carnies anymore, because I'll go to the fair and stuff, and I'll see somebody that's, you know, up there in age and stuff, and I'll talk to them in carny talk, what they call Kizarni, and they're like, huh? Never mind.
But we still got carnivals down here.
No, I'm saying carnies. The
Right, the people. You're talking about,
the people that are old school, that the way it used to be.
right. But you said you didn't know if they still had carnivals down here anymore, and they do.
No, carnies.
Oh.
And that town. I always remember it as called Gibtown, but it could be called something else. I don't know.
Gibson.
It's right around Tampa.
Gibsonton.
It could be. I mean, if you go through it, I don't know. See, I don't know now if you would go through it, you could see old rides and joints and stuff like that. The concession stands, you know, those things.
That's like,
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what it's called, because all I remember it was Gibtown.
Gibsonton. I know there's a Gibson, Georgia. There's a Gibson, Georgia.
I remember we were headed to Florida. I still don't know why we're going to Florida, but probably right outside of El Paso, Texas, our car broke down. We had to hitchhike, and we got a ride in the back of a pickup, and this freak storm came out. And this is in the summertime. All of a sudden, it was like freezing cold. It was in the 30s, and we're in the back of there just bundled up and freezing to death. And we made it all the way to the outer ring of Dallas, because there's a big freeway that goes around Dallas. And at that time, you weren't allowed to hitchhike on that ring. So we had to walk around the bottom part of the ring to go to the other side to where we could start hitchhiking again. I remember I was so tired, and it was pouring down rain. I had a tent, a 2-man tent that I laid on the side of the road and laid my head down on it and went to sleep while my dad was up there hitchhiking. And I passed out on the side of the road. It was probably 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And then we made it to Shreveport, Louisiana. And it was cold as could be. We didn't have blankets, sleeping bags, or anything. And there was a Louisiana State Fair. And we set up the tent and slept inside the tent. We didn't have no blankets or anything. And then got a job. Both of us got a job on the carnival there. Made money, bought a car, and then went to Florida. And then picked tomatoes. Oh. Gibtown, not Go Town. But I didn't have any problem with working when I was that young. They didn't ask you. Most of the people who worked there were illegals, but it was a fast way to make money. We got actually got a job from not one of the big pickers, but a guy that would go out and get specialty stuff and have pickers pick it for him. We would do one day we'd do bell peppers and then something else. No, I didn't write any notes down. I don't even think I have sticky notes. But I'll be sticking with my carnivore diet though. Unless somebody sends me cookies, then I have to eat a day. Huh?
How long have you been on it now?
This will be 14 days, 2 weeks. And I can honestly say I feel the difference. My legs are moving better when I get up in the morning and stuff. And I'm actually sleeping more than 2 hours.
Oh Lord.
Some nights that I don't. Some nights I skip a night and just stay up,
Yeah, I know. I'll get a prompt at 3 a.m. You and Dana B are doing that video game. I'm like, go to bed.
Yeah. Protein. And that's the thing. That's the thing is, I have to have fiber or it's dangerous. Well, that's the thing I thought. I was like, doing the business in the toilet, won't you get bound up for only eating meat? And it's the fat that I think it helps you, because it's encouraged to eat the fattier meat, because that's the fuel for your body, is that fat.
Yeah. Protein too.
Protein goes straight into your muscles, and then if whatever's left gets burned up. Usually, whenever I go to my son's physical therapy, I walk the holes back and forth, back and forth. They're all used to me. I'll sit there, have a conversation. The janitor will walk with me for a while and start talking to me and stuff. It's pretty bad when I know the janitor's name. uh, uh, but that was the main reasons, because they said, one, it lowers your blood pressure. The other one, inflammation in your joints and stuff will go away. Nice ball. Just eating meat, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Now I found myself craving salads for some odd reason. I don't know why, especially when somebody takes pictures of them all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Watching a show the other night, and this lady had this big old salad and all kinds of toppings on it, and I'm like, that looks good. I'm trying to make it the whole month, because you're supposed to have cheat days in this too, but I'm trying to go the whole month without the cheat day. So we'll see.
Salads are fine as long as it doesn't have that prickly field grass in it. I don't like that stuff. It's like,
Oh yeah.
like cucumbers, they repeat on me, so I can't have them.
Oh man,
Unfortunately.
you need to grow your own.
No, the purples don't work either. That's a big lie.
They do if you grow them.
Really?
Yeah. Not too bad. And the thing is, you don't eat that much. Yesterday I had 3 pork ribs, and so far today I had 1 hamburger patty.
For the whole day?
Yeah.
Oh man. Aren't you getting a blood sugar drop? Or feeling weak or
Nope.
wow.
I haven't had any my normal palpitations in my heart.
Hmm.
Now I'll probably after a live I'll probably fix something beforehand. But I don't know, it's you I was doing eggs with or I'll fry up some hamburger and then put a couple eggs on top of it and then put the lid over it and let it the top cook, steam cook it.
Right.
And that's real good. I'm like, how am I going to cook a hamburger without onions? Because like, I'm like, if I make a burger, I chop up onions and put it in the with the meat.
Oh yeah.
And it's, but I still use onion salt and garlic salt and stuff, or not salt, but, and that's the other thing I got, um, good salt, the Celtic salt. Yeah, no onions. Oh,
Yeah, it's tough.
And then I go on a live earlier today, and all they're talking about is food.
All right.
Gail's talking about making brownies, and
That sounds good right about now.
well, Tuesday I was over another live and come up talking about cookies, and like, yeah, I've been craving cookies for the last couple days now.
You could probably get the Christmas ones on sale at CVS by now, right?
Ugh.
BOGOs.
I don't like store-bought cookies. They're always dry and and Mountain Grandma over there is trying to get everybody to send me cookies, and Lisa, Yogi Holly Farms. Everybody needs to send Bushcraft cookies.
That's the end of that diet then.
Well, they said, and don't forget to make some for my son too. So,
Okay.
Yeah, go out with a bang. Some good
well,
cookies.
I'm like, well, a few cookies won't hurt anything.
Gotta have a cheat day, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. It's best to have cheat day, have some broccoli and stuff. Yeah, bacon cookies.
Yeah, that's what I'd be craving. Some stuff like that. Broccoli, peppers, mushrooms,
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yep.
But I imagine that's probably why you crave salads, just the fact of that crunch or something like that, probably.
Yeah. I that's what they asked me. What's my favorite cookie? And I said, a cookie's cookie. I like all cookies.
I like shortbread. Scottish shortbread.
Peanut butter cookies,
That's probably my
macadamia
all-time favorite.
cookies.
It's peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter is good. Yeah.
Everything else would just be second to peanut butter, in my opinion.
My daughter made these one that was real good. Well, the ones I used to do was cranberry ones.
Oh, snickerdoodles. That is a good one.
Yeah, snickerdoodle.
Snickerdoodles are good too.
Forgot about those.
Oh, it's Miss Bonnie.
Hey, Bonnie.
What's those other cookies called?
Fattening.
And a good chocolate chip, you can't go wrong with that either.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Unless when you go to, there's a test. If you go like this and it doesn't go, and you get crumbs all over the place, then it's a good cookie.
Yeah. I like mine fresh out of the oven, soft.
Oh yeah, but there are some that are the what do they call those one round ones that you dip in the coffee?
Fattening.
Like I know I can't think of the name, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like a coffee cookie.
The big chip cookies with the macadamia nuts in them, they're good too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, macadamia nut cookies. Yeah, I like those too.
Makes them.
Yeah, if they're good, I'll eat them.
With an ice cold glass of milk.
Oh yeah, the Nilla wafer. Those used to be good for banana pudding.
They're excellent for banana pudding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never had a vanilla wafer that wasn't attached to a banana pudding. It's just how it goes.
Oreos, no.
Somebody should make a banana pudding cookie. That sounds good.
or banana split.
There you go.
You're all going to be eaten by the time this stream's over, so might as well.
I
There's
used to
probably a
praise
recipe for that.
the banana split here because it was that big
Wow.
and probably about that tall, and for $15. But it was all real ice cream and real banana and all real flavors and stuff. And then they shrunk it down. It's still good though. I mean, to me, it's still worth the money. But then I'm sitting in a sugar coma for the rest of the night after eating that. Because you got to eat the whole thing. What are you going to do? Stick it in the freezer?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Put it in your pocket and save it for later?
Yeah.
Yeah, the homemade ice cream's the best. We just had a shop reopen on one of the Gulf roads here, but I mean, everyone took a beating, and they finally reopened, and a big line down the street.
That's good.
They got great ice cream in there.
That's good that there's.
And somehow they get the old-fashioned candy too. Like something you'd buy back in the 70s or 80s. They're getting it from somewhere.
That's that time machine. They go back and buy it and bring it up here and double their price on it.
It's the portal candy.
Portal candy.
Just a little ways south of me, they got a Stuckey's candy plant. You
Ooh.
can still go in there and buy stuff. And
Do they
they
have
used to have a tour. I don't know if they still do it.
Do they sell the pecan log roll there?
Oh, they got it all.
They got that.
Everyone remembers the pecan log roll.
Roking has those.
Does it say Stuckey's on them?
I don't know what they have on them. I never really look. I just know that they taste good. They got the old circus peanuts and all those things. Candy. They got the old whole roll of just the bags and stuff. Uh-oh.
It looks like he went to get the candy or something.
I don't know what happened. Sent me into the candy matrix.
That's right. I told you got sucked into that portal.
We got a place downtown. It's a restaurant called the Boll Weevil Plantation, and they've got some phenomenal food. But their desserts are award winning. They've got every type of cake or cheesecakes, and man, that stuff will hurt you.
Glazed croissants. Oh man, that sounds good too. I'm gonna try tomorrow. I'm gonna try making what is it? Flatbread with 2 eggs and a cup of cottage cheese.
Is that your cheat day?
That's not cheating.
I thought you couldn't have bread.
That's not bread. Well,
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be bread, but it's not made out of bread stuff. It's made out of cottage cheese and eggs. It's still meat based. Of course, I'm going to put some seasoning and stuff in it too. But I'm going to see how it turns out. Because what you do, you blend the cottage cheese until it's a milky consistency, and then you put the eggs in there and you blend it up, and you just pour it on a parchment paper and put it in the oven for 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it makes
You're basically making a pancake.
No, because pancakes with flour.
No, but I mean the same premise. It's flat. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Never had the cottage cheese. I always been scared to try it.
go if you try it. What? Make sure it's 2% fat, not 1.
Oh, my
1%.
mom, she loves it.
Yeah, there's also these things they make. You get a can of chicken, which I would actually go and make my own chicken because I'm staying away from processed food too. So, um, you but the recipe says you get a can of chicken and an egg, Parmesan cheese, and um, pork rinds that's been blended up. And
Yeah.
you mix it all together, and then you put it in the oven. It makes chicken nuggets,
Hmm.
Hey,
and
I'm down to try that.
they're crispy and everything. So
Yeah, me and pork rinds, my friend.
yeah, I got a big old container of pork rind bits or whatever you want to call them. But like I said, I don't want to use a can because that's processed food. I think I'm just feeling better because of being off of processed food.
Probably. I heard today that they decided to get rid of some type of red dye in food,
I hope so. 40.
and
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
don't
bad
know.
stuff.
I heard it when I was out, and obviously the new admin isn't in yet, and Robert Jr. is not.
It's probably in Florida because they passed something else down there too. Forget what it was.
Yeah, what's going on in Florida, man? What's going
A
on
lot
down
of
there?
things. A lot of things. The border, Florida's closed.
Same with Georgia.
Yep.
Exceptions can be made, though.
They passed a law where a a a male, a genetic male,
Oh yeah, that's another one I
can
heard.
no longer compete with women. Gee, isn't that a concept, huh?
Boy,
Oh,
but I love watching a girl beat up on a guy in wrestling.
yeah.
The guy gets so pissed off.
Well,
Oh man.
just lost to a girl.
Ugh. I don't think I'd be upset, but boy, they get, oh man, they go storming off. They won't shake hands or anything.
Well, the problem I have with that is why are you competing with another gender anyway?
Because there's
Because you can't handle your own gender, and
no, this is a girl, an actual real girl,
right.
because they don't have there. It's a lot better now, but there's not many girl wrestlers than there are men. Or
So there's not a girl league, you're saying, or as many.
yeah, so a lot of times they have to wrestle
Right.
guys.
I mean, it's weight class, it's not like
Yeah,
it's just evenly matched, I guess, as you can make it,
yeah.
in combat sports.
There's some place kickers down here on high school teams for football
Yeah.
that are girls, and of course the girls also play soccer. And boy, they can wail on that ball. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
they're kicking field goals that are big time.
Yeah, exactly. B. Well, the one wrestler I seen was you can tell she was a girl. She didn't dress like a guy or, shave her head or, that type of thing. She was a girl. But she was really good at wrestling, the high school wrestling, not the fake stuff.
Yeah. Grace, are you pool sharking again? Boy, I tell you,
I love shooting pool.
she beat three guys.
I haven't played pool in a good while.
Oh, I used to live in a pool parlor.
Yeah.
But that was back in my young, corrupt days.
Yeah.
She was drunk, too. Oh, boy. Love you, Grace. At least you're honest. That's good.
I
Rack 'em. That's what I said.
I only remember 2 times that I got drunk. And I don't know if it was because I had a weird gene in me or something from my grandpa to my dad. But I never had a hangover, and I've only been drunk twice when I consider being drunk. And one time was when I was like 7, I think. Yeah, 7 or 8. Ended up naked between the mattresses because we didn't have blankets. I took a bath and to get ready for school for the next day, and then slid in between the 2 mattresses to keep warm.
Mm.
How the heck did you get drunk at 7 years old?
It doesn't take much. Well,
No.
it didn't back then.
No.
Even though I remember about at least drinking at least 8 beers at that time. And then the other time was in Vegas, and I can't talk about that.
Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised I wasn't on the news. I'll leave it at that. And I used to drink a lot, so
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad.
No.
And that's why I said I think it was a combination because my grandpa would drink moonshine by the quart. Yeah, I remember when. Well, I don't remember, but I was told this. My dad went to visit my grandpa, evidently, and my grandpa grabbed me and went to the local bar, which local bar meant driving a good ways, and went in and set me up on the bar and says, "Me and my grandson will take all of you on."
Oh my God.
And he took them all on, which was normal. Old coal miner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was known, but he didn't go by his name. He went by Mutt.
Mutt.
Yeah, and everybody knew who Mutt was in like 4 or 5 counties around that area. And I remember that's when I got my realization of how family is. My grandpa was to leave all of his weaponry to me. He had a good collection. He had stuff from back in World War One and beyond that, and I didn't get any of it. My family decided to take it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
yeah. And the sad thing is they sold it off for money, which that irritated me more than anything because that was something to keep.
Sure.
It was to remember him because whenever I did go to visit or have to stay with him, that's one of our pastimes was going out hunting and just shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those old, and that's where I actually was getting really good at the bar, the BAR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that is such an awesome gun.
3006.
Yeah. Oh man. And he had that from World War II.
Yeah. You can thank John Moses Browning for that one.
Yeah, he actually brought it back because that's what he used when he was over.
Yeah. Like World War II, Korea, Vietnam, there was always at least one BAR in a small squad.
Oh yeah, and it looks so weird, compared to a normal because you can switch it. You can you can use it as a single shot
Mm-hmm.
or
Flick the switch.
flip flip it. And that thing is really accurate.
Yeah. That was the rifle that Ed Burns carried in Private Ryan. He was the BAR guy.
But yeah, I found anytime there's money involved, the family members will be very dirty.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all families, but
No. But it's just a
It happens.
yeah,
just because you've got the same blood doesn't mean you're
mm-hmm.
you're on the same page or you're
Well, it's just like you're always there to help somebody if they ask you and whatnot, and if you need help, where'd everybody go?
yeah.
Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I got this to do.
There's givers and then there's takers.
Yeah. And I always feel if I'm able, somebody needs help, I try to do what I can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our chicken is dipped in bleach,
Hmm.
and then they rinse it off. They say they rinse it off, but how much can you rinse off? That's why other countries won't. Well, it's banned in other countries because in America we dip our chicken in the bleach to kill the bad stuff.
Yeah. I hope Bobby Jr. can get all of this stuff done, but the thing that I worry about is how you going to prove that they're doing it. You're going to have all of these, people watching.
Oh yeah.
How you know what I mean? I mean, just the logistics alone are, how
Well,
many people are you going to have to hire to could be in every plant? And I mean, you'd have to be there 24/7 if it ran that way.
well, just like we were talking Jack in the Box. Remember that they actually had people in there teaching them how to. Well, you have to have it on there for so many minutes. You flip it over for so
Right.
many minutes, and still they skimped on it sometimes when it got real busy.
Right.
The manager says, "Let them out,"
But I mean, that's
only do 3 minutes or something like that.
right.
And then boom, it came back again.
But right. But that's different than making sure they're not dumping chemicals on the food or,
Yeah.
there's more involved.
Yeah. And wherever it comes from, how do you know how they did it? Because, Walmart, a lot of the canned food comes from China.
Yeah.
What did they spray on it? What's in the soil there?
What's their brand? Great Value, is it?
Yeah. And nowadays, when you see people doing recipes, everything they grab is Great Value, and it's like all you're doing is dumping a bunch of packages in a crock pot. Oh, there's the meal. Don't people know, getting a piece of chicken and, breading it and frying it and stuff, and not having a frozen piece of chicken and throwing it in a crock pot and then dumping a can of soup and a bag of frozen peas on top of it. And it's all homemade. Oh, you just dumped a bunch of packages in a thing.
Yeah.
That's why I like the homestead community. You see a lot of actual, recipes of actual vegetables and the meat and stuff coming together as a recipe.
Oh yeah.
Because you can taste the difference. I mean, even you could feel the difference. I've been doing the carnivore thing for 2 weeks, and I think it's more. I'm getting more of a benefit off of not eating the processed food instead of just the meat part of it. Yeah, the skinless thing. Oh, the skin is making fried chicken and having the skin on it too.
Oh yeah. Shoot, that's the best part.
Yeah. I remember somebody getting they were making chicken, and they actually got a whole chicken, and they were cutting it up, and they pulled all the skin off of it. I'm like, what'd you do that for? Oh, it's too much fat and cholesterol and this and that. And I'm like, what? So I took the skin and laid it on cookie sheet and seasoned it up and put it in the oven and had fried chicken skin.
Heck yeah.
Boy, everybody ate the heck out of that. Yeah. Skin that it's good. Oh man, you get that chicken skin really crispy. Oh,
Oh yeah.
good stuff.
Especially when it's got that little piece of fat attached to it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you do. You need that fat.
Or that fat on your porterhouse steak right on the edge.
Oh yeah.
You can't leave it on the plate. You got to eat it.
Yeah.
Even Jack don't get that from me. Get the real meat. I'm eating the fat.
Oh, that's like a good ribeye steaks. They'll have a section that this is the premium cut, and it doesn't have the little fat lines and stuff in it. And I'm like, no,
It's
that's
not.
the good stuff over there that has all that fat that hasn't been trimmed off.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Give you the meat sweats. Mm.
Meat sweats.
Good meat sweats.
Oh,
Mm.
I had some pork ribs that I had gotten in that box that I used to do reviews on. But they were stuck in the freezer for a good long while, and I didn't know when I was going to cook them. And I finally defrosted them, and then I seasoned them up real good and let them sit in the refrigerator for another night with the seasoning and stuff. And then I put them in the oven. I put it to 200 degrees and let them cook for 5 hours. Oh, good stuff. Went to pick. I picked one of them up by the bone, and it just fell. The bone just plopped right out of it. Oh, they're good.
Oh yeah. I hadn't had ribs in a while. Need to get me some.
Yeah, I got some beef ribs in there. I don't know how well those are. I'll have to
They're pretty
give
good.
those a try. Um, yeah, everybody's going to run to the kitchen.
For fatty meat now.
Time for mass quantities.
Copious amounts of fat and beef.
Yeah, nowadays if you buy chicken stock or chicken broth or whatever you want to call it, you pour that in there, you hardly see any fat in that.
No,
And
you don't.
yeah, you should see a good bit of fat floating on the top of there. And that's all flavor. Now when you make your own broth and you put it you can it and it cools off, you see all that fat up there. You would
Funny you
think
mentioned.
that little thing that you get in the store, it would have that fat at the top of it. Nope.
Seen a guy do that. He was processing a bunch of chickens, and he made up some chicken fat. I bet that's some good stuff, you know. It's like you would have, you know, bacon grease.
Mm-hmm.
You had a whole jar of just nothing but that.
Oof. That refrigerator's looking
Oh,
better.
I bet it smells so good in there in your house.
Oh, I bet it does.
Oh, I remember doing it with the um, running down the lard, and once the little parts come floating to the top, you get the because we used it. It looked like an oar. I'm assuming it was an oar, but I would flip the oar up and get that little piece, and it'd be so crunchy. Oh, that was the best part. And this was all over open flame too. When I remember doing this, and it was, it looks like a witch's thing, cauldron thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they would fill it up with the lard from the pigs because it was like a butcher day, I guess, for the pigs, and um, the old timers would gather around and render it down. Of course, there would be a bottle of jar of moonshine being passed around. They were telling stories and stuff, and I would be over there stirring, and every time one of the little the the skin part would the crackling would float to the top meant it was ready to eat, and I would scoop it out of there and crunch it down. And that was one of the best smells. Oh, oh. Well, guys, it is almost 11:30. I'm gonna call it here in a couple of minutes. Should be here Friday. Um, I don't know. There's somebody else wants me to go live with them, so I'm kind of torn which way to go with this. So I'm going to see what time that they're going to go live and see if I can do a small live on Friday or something. We'll see. But I don't think there's going to be anybody live at the moment, so I'm going to go check real quick. Who is this? Misfit Mania. Who is that? Somebody must have changed the name, and I don't know who it is. Oh, okay. It's backwoods. Okay. Well, Tony, you just come in just in time for us to leave. But thanks for joining us
All right.
for the last minute. Good thing you missed the last hour or so, because all we've been talking about is food. So you won't have to go to the kitchen and get something to eat after the live's over. But everybody have a good night, and we'll see you probably Friday. And I hope you guys have a good night. Everybody have a blessed night.
Night, night, all.
Good night, everybody.